Big hello from BarnDIY.com. You ever thought about getting those LED strips and you don't want to waste it because you don't know how to reconnect them? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're over here at the workbench, actually on the floor. And what I use to connect all of our LED strips is just the, these wires you get when you connect to your nodes and stuff like that. They have the male and little female pins on there. It's a very thin gauge. What I do is I just splice off a bit, separate them apart, and I just, what I do, a little OCD, I always cut a little bit extra, as you can see there, and then I twist them up. So there's a couple things to do when you're soldering to LED strips here. Mind the fingers, a little issue, not from soldering though. And so that's one done. So if I can do it with these bandages on and you follow this, you will have no issue. Okay, so wires, I've just twisted them on the end a little bit. And what I like to do is just cut them down just a smidge. And using these is not the best, so let me grab a pair of scissors real quick. Okay, we are back. We are here. So let's give this a little bit of a cut. There. So that's, oh, that one didn't cut. I just noticed that. There. So super small compared to my finger. And what we have to do, I think it's called tinning. So for this wire to be able to solder onto the LED strip, you have to put solder on the wire and on the LED strip. And I'll show you that right now. So always make sure you use some flux. And you can see my handy LED strip holder. It's right there. So I'm going to put this down. I'll focus that in. And then what I do is I just take the end of the wire, just dip it into the flux a little bit. All right, and I just kind of heat it up. And you see I have some, I don't know if that's going to focus, let me try there. I have some solder still on the end of this tip. If you don't, just go ahead and just touch it a little bit, and then you can just touch the ends. So that's tinning the wires. Now what we have to do is tin the LED strips. So what I like to do is I take my flux and I just dab a little tiny bit on the end. And all I do is I just touch it. Oh, look at that. It tinned it and I wasn't even trying. Hopefully this one doesn't do it perfect. So now what we do is I just barely touch that pad and the solder at the exact same time. There we go. Make sure that one's on there. Good. Now, you guessed it. So I always like to go with a common color if I can. If not, I'll always go with a lighter color on the top for the positive, always a darker color for the negative. So the object is to keep as much heat off of this strip as possible. So what I do is I hold the wire just above it, maybe give it a little bit of a bend upwards. There we go. Just so my hand can't fit all the way down. So I touch that on top, and then my soldering gun just touches the top of that wire. until it melts. Ready? Here we go. There, and then let it off. So because you've tinned the wire and tinned the LED strip, as soon as that heats up, it kind of sucks it right in. Now, I'm not an engineer. I don't have a bachelor in science. This is just tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that I want to share. So I have my wire resting on the top and ready, touching the wire. Don't blink because it happens pretty quick. There we go. Now we can let it go. So, as you can see, really, it is pretty easy. Now I have a set of pigtails on the end of this LED strip, and ready for the next light install. So I'll give you a little tutorial on maybe one of the next videos on what we're doing here at the home, kind of where we're putting these and how we're doing them, and just some of the ideas that we have both come up with. So anyways, all this stuff that I do here today, whoa, that's what happens when you're using a Google Pixel for YouTube without a mount. Anybody want to sponsor a mount, go ahead and get a hold of us. What we have here is just Laco Flux. This is a 4 ounce. This will last you for years. And I got this little soldering as part of a kit. The wife bought me there, so comes in a bag. All of this stuff will be in the description below. I'm not using a fancy soldering iron with the external box or anything like that. This is just, here, I'll unplug it. So here's the wire, as you can see. Comes down to a nice handy on and off with a plug. That's it. If you're doing electronics and stuff like that, I know there's a whole other ball of wax for soldering irons. So, but this has been absolutely great for what we've needed it for in here. And anyways, thanks for coming by, watching the video. Please give us a subscribe. We do need it. And give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, put them in the comments below. And we reply to them. So anyways, thank you very much. I appreciate it. From BarnDIY.com. Bye.